everybody here. Welcome all of you here from my side once again because last week we discussed 2024 PYQ's Shift 1 and Shift 2 completely English analysis. Here we are today for Shift 1 of 2023. Tomorrow we'll be here for Shift 2 of 2023. But before I proceed, let me mark you. Congratulations to you, to us, from your side particularly. We have crossed 25 million users on Olive Board. So we have an offer for all of you because of all of you. Flat 55% off on any subscription. We suggest the Regulatory Super Elite, the all-in-one, in which you can get access to all the upcoming courses and everything such. Do have a look before you leave. This offer ends tomorrow, 20th of May. We have this another milestone together as marked by the toppers also AIR 1, RBI grade B. Okay, so don't miss this opportunity. Would love be just a sec. Okay, so we go ahead here. Let's start the session now. Sorry for this delay caused. I had another class before that. Let's go ahead. I will reduce the brightness, don't worry. Just a sec. Oh. Here we go ahead. You have a look. I reduce the brightness. Must be visible clearly. Let's go. Welcome all of you here. Nancy. Jai Jinendra. Chetan, good afternoon. Hey dear. Isha and everybody. The first one. You have to mark the, what should I say? The coherence, the inference of the passage. The inference of the passage, the theme of the passage. Reformist fiction can explore the concept of gender fluidity through characters who defy categorization. Well, in someone's Broken Earth trilogy, the protagonist possesses ability that transcend traditional gender roles. Abilities that transcend. Okay. Her experiences challenge the reader to move beyond a binary understanding of power and vulnerability, male and female, probably beyond that, transcending that. Likewise, someone's Infomocracy series features characters who can switch genders through technological means. This allows him or her to explore the societal implications of a purely performative gender identity. Okay, so which concept is most likely explored through a character with technologically enabled gender switching, as seen in someone's series? Okay, the challenges of defying traditional gender roles. I don't think so. They are marking the challenges of defying. Likewise, in her series, the characters who can switch genders through technological means, challenge is not there. They can switch, they are able to, can the model out there. This allows them to explore the implications of this. So no challenges, I think, should be there. The importance of biological sex in defining power. No, they are defying gender. So not marking the importance of biological. They are even going beyond that, technological, transcending this traditional and everything. Gunjan, good afternoon. The fluidity of gender identity separated from biology. Of course, with these two examples, the author is willing to mark the concept of gender fluidity. That means fluid, motion, moving, changing gender, who defy this gender categorization. One transcending the general roles, and the second one changing or switching genders through technological roles. So that may be the fluidity of gender identity separated from biology. How can we say separated from biology? Because they can switch genders through technology, not just biology, transcending beyond that. Exactly. Limitations of technology, come on, they can switch through technology. You can't say limitations out there of technology. The necessity of fixed categories of power dynamics, they are going beyond that. Nope. The most appropriate must be the third one, and it is. Next. uh what is that? A close test. Okay. The war, also called this, was an international conflict that was hold on. If it was prevented by the invasion, if somebody has invaded, it is not said to be prevented. Somebody has invaded. That's it. And if it was prevented, stopped, restricted, why and how the war happened? So, no, no, no. I think prevent should be replaced. Culminate is to peak or reach the peak of, top of, maybe the end of something also, but it wasn't ended by invasion. Enjoin is a difficult one. Shouldn't be any joining categories over here. Triggered, yes, that may be sparked by, triggered by, initiated by, something such matters. Let me fix the focus first if it is changing or fluctuating. Yes, it was. Must be better now. It was triggered by, it was initiated by. Yes, that's why I changed it. Thank you. Vaibhav, good evening. It was overshadowed by the invasion. If it were, then there should have been no war. It was triggered by, started by, initiated by, sparked by. Thank you, Hadier. I'm sorry for the mismatch before that. Yes, it was trying to focus on me being human. So that's why. No problem. Thank you. It was triggered by, started by, not prevented or stopped by. If they had prevented, there should have been no war. By the invasion of this on that, Iraq's leader Saddam Hussein ordered invasion and occupation, occupy, of Kuwait with the apparent aim of acquiring that nation's large oil reserves, cancelling a large debt Iraq owed Kuwait, and expanding Iraqi power in the region. So there has been a war, there had been a war, nothing prevented, done. The United Nations Security Council called for Iraq to withdraw the Kuwait, and the council imposed a worldwide ban on trade with Iraq. The government responded by formally, I think they should have stopped because the United Nations have asked them to do this and that. But the next line says, Iraq's invasion and the potential threat it then posed, the world's largest, this and that. Next line says the United States and the Western European NATO allies to rush troops to Saudi Arabia, possible attack. There were other nations joining this and that. That means they haven't stopped yet. They haven't followed the orders of the United Nations yet. Forsake is to let go. No, they are not letting go. They are controlling. They are still attacking the next attack out there. Succor, nope. Usurp, take a high, no. Supplement, maybe annexing. That's the most appropriate word here, because annex is to take control of another's vicinity, authority, kingdom by the use of power and force and such. Absolutely, Jessica. That's the most appropriate word here, I think, description here. Yes. Succor, give assistance to, no, they are controlling them. They are willing to acquire, occupy them. Forsake, abandon or leave. They are not letting them go. Usurp, take the position of, in terms of power. Supplement, additional. But no, annex says to add a territory to one's own territory by appropriation. And that's the most appropriate word out here. I got this wrong because I wasn't aware, to be honest, of the meaning of annex. Next, Iraq's invasion and the potential threat it then posed to Saudi Arabia, the world's largest oil producer and exporter, elicit, to take or draw from something. The United States, no, it shouldn't be illicit. The whole scenario is going in past, should have been elicited. V2 could have been a possibility. Now, we need some improvement here. Dissuade the United States and the Western. They are not going to dissuade them. They should be preventing them, stopping them and such. Generate, inspire, prompted. See the complete line. I know that's not that easy. Welcome, Icha. They are invading now. Iraq's invasion and the potential threat it then posed to Saudi Arabia, because of that, the world's largest oil producer, Saudi Arabia, prompted United States and the Western European NATO allies to rush troops. They are sending troops now to Saudi Arabia to what? Blank space a possible attack. Illicit has been done, huh? Prompted. Yes, I did mention this. Why am I? I'm sorry. While speaking, I think I forgot either one or probably. No, I was talking about the third one. Extremely sorry for this mismatch. Extremely sorry for this mismatch. The world's largest oil producer and exporter. Elicited should have been possibility. I was there at the third one, yes. So V2 should have been there. There must be some improvement. Dissuaded, generated, inspired, prompted them, forced them, persuaded them to send their troops to blank space the possible attack. I hope okay now. I'm sorry for the mismatch. Because of this invasion and the threat it then posed to Saudi Arabia, which was the largest oil producer and exporter, blank space the United States and its Western allies to rush troops to Saudi Arabia. They are sending their troops to Saudi Arabia to blank space the possible attack. And all these conditions blank space the United States. Dissuade, no, persuade, generated United States, no, inspire, D should have been a possibility in the past tense. In the past tense, the only option left, prompted to help Saudi Arabia. Similarly, they are sending their troops now to Saudi Arabia to blank space the possible attack. Foster is to support. They are not sending their troops to support the possible attack. They are not Iran, that's United States and the NATO allies. They won't be letting them have a possible attack. They will be stopping. To deter, possible. To predict, there is nothing like saying here to predict, say before. Remit, have some relaxation. Resume, no. To deter, stop them from having that possible attack. Absolutely. Moving ahead. Yes, last one. Egypt and several other nations joined this coalition. Egypt and several other Arab nations joined this anti-Iraq coalition and contributed forces to the military build-up known as Operation Desert Shield. On 29th of November, the United Nations Security Council authorized the use of force against Iraq if it did not withdraw from Kuwait by January 1591. However, Saddam dejectedly, sadly, dejected is sad, he refused to withdraw. As per the orders of United Nations going against them, he refused to withdraw. It shouldn't be dejected, that means sadly, gently. If you are refusing to obey someone's order, you can't say you are a gentleman. Nervous. He wasn't nervous. If he was not going with the norms or according to the norms of, he was refusing to withdraw. No nervous, no gentle, no sad. Duty, it wasn't his duty to refuse to the orders. Steadfast, being firm. He was there, exactly. He was there being firm at his decision. That's why he said, no, I won't. He steadfastly refused to withdraw Iraqi forces from Kuwait. I'm sorry for the mismatch. Thank you. Next, pretty good fillers, let me say. While far from being a silver bullet, the blank space drones with thermal imaging technology is one solution. Blank space monitor ecosystems for signs of poaching or illegal logging. So I think that's good. The use of drones, I think, with this technology is one solution. You are talking about solution. So the overall tone is positive. And that's how you are monitoring the ecosystem for the signs of poaching or illegal logging. So I think the whole sentence is being positive here. He is a dictator. Forcefully, exactly. So the stationing of drones, if they are stationed at the same time, how would I monitor ecosystem for the signs of poaching? And no, the use of drones is perfect here, but you know the meaning of crawl is to go slowly and slowly and slowly, just like a snake is crawling, any insect is crawling. So first one is correct, but not the second one. The first one is wrong, need not check this. Offended too, wow, both are wrong. The deployment better. Rengna, exactly. If we deploy, just like we deploy army, we deploy forces, we deploy police. The Prime Minister is coming to my city tomorrow. The police have been deployed in the area, and we are deploying drones in the area with this technology as a solution. The solution which is proposed to monitor the science. Not bad. The utilize is a verb. Utilization should have been a possibility. Grammatically wrong. The employment on drones. No, we have a better choice. We have a better choice. So sorry. The deployment of drones out there. Yes, exactly. Utilization should have been a possibility out there. Next. Psychotherapy and medications are vital to the long-term treatment of serious mental illnesses. But they may help, they may not help someone blank space the risk of dying and who has blank space antidepressant medicines. Psychotherapy, medications are important to the long-term treatment of serious mental diseases. But they may not help someone blank space risk of dying. At imminent about to happen risk of dying, correct? Facing an immediate risk of dying, correct? At distant risk of dying, I don't think so. If somebody is at distant risk of dying, then we are going to help him with the diseases and all. We can. Distant, I think the instant risk of dying. If somebody is going to die immediately, medicines may not help. They may not help someone who is going to die, let's say that. So no distant. At low risk of dying, if there is low risk of dying, we can help. Shouldn't say cannot help then. Instantly risk. Hold on a sec. No, instantly is an adverb. Adverbs don't modify nouns in English. Grammatically wrong. Either the first one or the second one. For the first filler, Chetan, for this, instantly will be horrible because instantly risk. Risk is noun, instantly is an adverb. Instant risk could have been better. Now, both are correct in the first one. Imminent, about to happen, facing an immediate risk of dying, both are correct. Let's see the second one. We may not help them, someone who is at the imminent risk of dying, facing an immediate risk of dying, and who has responded to these medicines. If he has responded to these medicines, he must be improving. Why would he be at the risk of dying? Possibility is who has not responded to the medicines. Like medicines are not working on him, he's going to die. In that case, it may not help. Exactly. If one has responded to the medicines, then medicines will work and save him. If he has not responded, then there may be a risk of dying. Come on. All in all, the first one. Sorry. Not responded. Next. Some plastic isn't designed for microwaves because it has polymers inside, to blank space and flexible. I'm honestly sorry here. Whatever you put here should be the synonym of flexible. Some plastics are not designed for microwaves because they have polymers inside to blank space and flexible. So it should be a synonym of flexible, I think, which melt at lower temperatures and may blank space during the microwave process if goes beyond 100 degrees centigrade. I don't know what it does at lower temperatures, but I know in the microwave during the process above 100, if they go, they are going to melt. Let me eliminate. Make it mushy, pulpy. Plastic may be pulpy, not bad. But yes, may be released. Released where? Released into the environment. Released where? I don't think so. At 100 degree, they'll be released. Not an appropriate word. Make it soft. Yes. At lower temperatures. Leach out. I don't know the meaning of leach out. In case, drop it. Render it compressible. Fine. But at 100, it will be withheld. I think at 100 degree they may melt, not be withheld, so not appropriate. May be given out to whom? Belong to whom? Plastic belongs to at 100 degree. You belong with me. Leach out, even though I do not know the meaning of that, but still that has to be the appropriate answer, and that is correct. At 100 degree, it melts the same way. Change its position, change its shape and everything such. They may have marked it. Leach out means to come out of or be removed from another substance, and that is appropriate. At 100 degree, leach out will melt. I repeat, even though I wasn't aware of the meaning, can eliminate. Renu, good afternoon, beta. Next, this is LE, another variant spelling of ALLY, but it shows, I hope you know, the path, the way, the road, the street, and such. The cat darted into the alley, disappearing among those stacked crates and discarded boxes, into that street, into that way, disappeared out there. No problem, seems good. He aimed his bowling ball down the alley, hoping for a strike. I'm sure we have gone through bowling in cricket. No, in the mall, where we just have a ball and we throw it in order to strike out there. Done, all gone. That line, I can show you in Google Images also, is supposed to be the path, is supposed to be the alley. So he aimed his bowling ball down the alley in order to strike. Perfect usage. That's the accurate one. An alley aircraft, which is an aircraft that you can say for path, for way, for the road, for the street. We have aircrafts, spacecraft. Seems good. Weird. I said aircrafts. I'm sorry. The plural of aircraft is aircraft, and so is spacecraft. Landed in the field. The context says leaving the townspeople baffled and curious. It shouldn't be a path or a street aircraft. I think it should be something which hasn't been seen before. An alien aircraft. Alien, outlandish. I don't know from where it came. Whoa, Nancy and Chetan, thank you. So that has to be wrong, leaving behind just first and second one, and which is correct. Parajumble of 5 options here. The new system will eliminate the need for the executive to obtain a vote on account budget approval to incur expenditure during the first 2 months, which normally is the second fortnight of May. But which is the new system that will eliminate the need of let me go through further. With annual financial resources approved and bestowed on April 1st, time sequential approach, April 1st, fortnight of May, a more planned and regulated expenditure profile during the year is expected. But you're also talking about the whole year going ahead. Okay. The cabinet has decided in principle to advance the presentation of the union budget by a month from Feb to Jan. I think it should be a descriptive statement because there's nothing I need to check, know, or come through first. I repeat, the cabinet has decided in principle to advance the presentation of the union budget by a month from Feb to Jan. Seems good. The objective is to have the budget constitutionally approved by the parliament and assented to by the president. Probably, not sure, haven't gone through the whole passage. That's the reason why they have advanced the presentation of the budget by a month from Feb to Jan. Probably that's the objective, or that's the aim. Both are correct. The objective is to have the budget, but still they're talking about the union budget. The budget, I think so, C, D should be together. That's not for sure. At a glance, I have looked at. And all allocations at different tiers disseminated to budget holders before the financial year begins on April 1st. So you are planning everything before the financial year beginning on April 1st. Not bad. CD, in my opinion, are not bad. The aim is that, now that's the aim of all spending authorities within the system, and those financially dependent on the center be in a position to work out their activities with the short resources in the beginning of the year itself. Both seem good to me. Let's go ahead. Starting with C, the descriptive one. The passage starts here. The cabinet has decided in principle to advance the presentation of the union budget by a month from Feb to Jan. And for the budget, as you have mentioned, I think that should be next one, D. The objective is to have the budget constitutionally approved by the parliament and assented to, one more statement I need to have a look at, and assented to, I need to delete this then, just a sec, done. Now CD first. by the president, and all the allocations at different years disseminated to the budget holders before the financial year begins on April 1st. Okay, you are planning all these things in advance. With annual financial resources, no, that should be the last one in my opinion, because it is going ahead for the whole year. There is another statement talking about the whole year where we can plan beforehand we can say. Now one statement is left, CDA, the new system, probably this new changing one. Let me check, not sure to be honest. Let me go through this now. The cabinet has decided to advance the presentation of the budget by a month. The objective is to have the budget constitutionally approved by the parliament and assented to by the president. First of all, of course, that's how you can say do this. And all allocations at different tiers disseminated to budget holders before the financial year begins on April 1st. And that new system will eliminate the need for the executive to obtain, because it has been assented to by the president, approved by the president. So it will eliminate the need for the executive to obtain a vote on account budget approval, because done. Yes, because it has already been assented to or approved by the president. So no need for the approval of the budget in the same tone to incur the expenditure during the first 2 months, which are going to start on April 1st until fortnight of May. Now two statements. If I finish at B, it is talking about the whole year itself. When the budget starts on 1st of April, we can mention this further in this particular one. So the aim is that all authorities within the system and those financially dependent on the center be in a position to work out their activities with assured resources that we have already assented, approved by the president in the beginning of the year itself. With all resources approved, you have here those assured resources beforehand, and with all these resources approved, assured beforehand, on 1st of April, a planned expenditure profile during the whole year is expected. Objections welcome. I know it is difficult, it's different when you silently solve a paper such and when you speak out loud, but trying to find a balance between them. Okay, so C, they have done this. Why? Because they want this to be done, and this new system will have all the approvals already taken by the president. With all the resources already assured, we will have everything throughout the year, during the year precisely. No need for any approval and such. Now let's eliminate. Which of the following? C, D, A, E, B. C, D, A, E, B. Sure. So first one, C, C, D, A, E, B. Remember. First one, C. Next, second one, D. Next, third one, A. Next, fourth one, E. And next, fifth one, that was, I think, B. Absolutely. Okay, objections welcome. Parajumbles. A German term for lightning war, this is a military tactic designed to create the disorganization among enemy forces through the use of mobile forces and locally concentrated firepower. A general statement. That's a German term, not specifying used in Germany and such. One more statement which is also general, casual, not specific. It's this term's successful execution results in short military campaigns which preserves human lives and limits the expenditure of the artillery. Okay. Now going specific. German forces tried out this, putting examples, in Poland. Since it's a German term, talking about the Germans first. They tried out this in Poland in 1939 before successfully employing the tactic with invasions of Belgium, the Netherlands, and France in 1940. It was also used by the German commander during the North African campaign of World War II, I think from 1940 to 46 or 48 what. I'm sorry, I don't remember that. It was adopted by the US also for his army's operations. I think straight. That's a term used for this. Its execution results in this and that. Now putting examples when it was used by them, and by them. Absolutely used by them, and then the US later on. A, first of all, the term defining its proper usage, execution, And then the examples, they used it, then they used it there also, and then they are also using this. AC, BDE, probably the first one, and it is. Next. Now, more and more people are moving their lives online. Banks, e-commerce websites, and others are having to take security far more seriously, no longer relying on simple passwords to keep intruders at bay. Maybe the first one. But how careful are you when it comes to securing your computer? Maybe that's a general statement because computer, and that is talking about passwords for banks and websites and such. B should be before A. Do you take pains, work hard to choose complex passwords and not write them down because other people may find them? Okay, both of the questions together we can have, but in case we have an answer to the B, answer to B to C, we can put the question first and then the answer, the question first and then the answer. Let me check the rest of those. Every time you leave home, you're probably very careful about locking all the doors, windows, maybe been switching on an intruder alarm if you have one. Seems to be a more specific one. Next. One increasing. Okay, just a sec. I've got the keyword. D and B. Have a look. Every time you leave your home, the concrete noun, you're probably very careful about locking the doors, windows, maybe switching on an intruder alarm if you have one. So you are careful for your home. But how careful are you when it comes to securing your home, securing your computer? For sure, DB in the first filler I have. And since we do not have any answer to the computer, we are specifically, I think, talking about passwords. Going ahead. Next, C, straight. Yo, Vaibhav, you leave your home carefully. What about your computer system? Do you pay attention to that? Its security and such? Superb. Absolutely careful and such. Now, passwords are here. Do you, I mean to say, take pains to choose complex passwords? Because now more and more people are moving their lives online, banks and all these things have this. I think that's the solution. See, one popular measure solution is called two-factor authentication, and it's the online equivalent of a combination of lock whose code keeps on changing. Still comparing this with the physical lock for homes. Done. Need not check the answers now. Every time you leave your home, you secure it. How careful are you when it comes to securing a computer? Do you take pains to choose complex passwords because the world is moving online? Having all these things, one possible solution is that DBC and then AE without the options. DBC AE. Flat first. Hallelujah. Since LASIK, that shouldn't be the first one because we have, say, the description of that first of all, but throughout the passage we don't have the description of this. So let's go straight and thank you, you got it. Thank you. Let's go straight and check. Since we do not have, we can think about the time sequential approach and take this as the first one. Since it became available in 90s, millions of people have benefited from a permanent improvement in their vision. Millions of people. Since its introduction, its inception, millions of people have benefited from a permanent improvement. And those millions of people who have had laser surgery achieve perfect or much improved vision. Permanent improvement, that means perfect vision or much improved vision. Although very few studies have been done, but 90% of the people, and that's a figure, that's a percentage. So need not check the whole, we can of course, no problem. A, B, E, straight, check. Since it became available in the 90s, millions of people have benefited from this. Although very few studies have been done, but over 90% of the people who have had laser surgery achieve perfect or much improved vision. Not surprisingly, a similar percent of patients, there is only one percentage in the passage, 90%, and that's the percentage, say they are satisfied with the results of the operation. Positive, positive, positive. Now, two negative statements out there. Even so, this surgery is by no means a miracle cure for bad eyesight because government, health agencies and consumer groups around the world have been at pains to point out. While it may suit people with mild short sight, for example, it's less suitable for those with very poor vision and it cannot address the gradual Done, done, done. That's a negative one. So starting with that positivity, 90%, millions of people, the percentage, and then those negative options out there. A, B, E, B option. Vaibhav, hallelujah. Next. Error detection, not that easy. May shaped in such. It is estimated that more than 1 million users are logged in of their crypto and they should not access their funds. Okay, I repeat, just to make you aware of the contextual error it has. Grammatically, it's all fine. Just a sec. Welcome, Vedansh. Good afternoon, brother. Bhari Dopahar. Hallelujah. Radhe Radhe. The Hindi translation of Hallelujah. It is estimated that more than 1 million users are logged in of their crypto wallets. Just a sec. If you say lock in, then the meaning of lock in is to be logged inside. Logged in is to be logged inside. It's logged in there inside the crypto wallet, and they should not access their funds. If you're saying should not, then that seems an opinion, a suggestion, and such contextually horrible. See, they are not logged in their wallets, they are logged out of their wallets. That means they cannot access their wallets. Feel this now. It is estimated that more than 1 million users are logged out of their crypto wallets, logged out of their wallets. And since they are logged out of, they can't reach, they can't access their funds. C and E both. Logical answer. Okay. Doubts welcome. Next, one reason, he may have expended so much time and energy compounding the state, this time could have to do with the arrival of a newly opposition party. Just a sec. Newly opposition party, ruling party is a noun overall the compound form. Newly, there is no newly opposition, a new opposition party. E is horrible. Either this, either this. Just one option with E. Let's go. However, we will discuss the next. New opposition party. Now C is incorrect. What is wrong in C? If I check compounding in the state, let me get the context. One reason he may have expended so much time and energy compounding. Compound is to join. Compound nouns, chemistry. In the state this time could have to do with the arrival of a new opposition party. So an opposition party is going on, he's expending time and energy. Okay, got it. Not compounding in the state. For politics, for opposition party, ruling party, we campaign in the state. You got it. Before the elections, we don't have compounds, we have campaigns. Need not say that again, I think. Objections, welcome. Next. The wealthy urban single women are increasingly being recognizing, just a sec, that's passive. Be plus ing again. No, that should be passive. These women are recognized as an economic opportunity by someone. Annie, good afternoon. Hey dear. These wealthy women are increasingly being recognized as an economic opportunity, and they are wooed. Banks, once again you have put something wrong, horrible. They are wooed. Passive, B plus V3. Banks, we don't have objects in the passive voice. I saw him, simplest I can say, goes, he was seen me. He was seen, B plus V3. It doesn't go he was seen me, he was seen by me, or any other preposition. They are wooed. Uh-oh, got it. They are wooed by banks because they are seen as an opportunity. They are recognized as an opportunity. RBI for a reason. Thank you so much, Vaibhav. They are wooed by banks. They are wooed by jewelry makers. They are wooed by the consumer good companies, and they are wooed by the travel agencies. Done. The wealthy women are increasingly being recognized and as an economic opportunity. Wooed by banks, jewelry makers, goods and companies, and agencies. Done. You can feel the sentence. The wealthy women are seen as an opportunity, economic opportunity to make money from. They are wooed by banks, jewelry makers, consumer goods companies, and the travel agencies also. So fraction B and fraction D must be wrong. B and D. Next. Now that's the RC. I hope I'm not wrong. 8 questions or probably 9 questions from the RC. Let's go through this quickly. Solar Orbiter, a new collaborative mission between the space agency NASA and European Space Agency to study the Sun. It was launched on a United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket from Launch Complex 41 at the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida. Mission controllers at the European Space Operations Center in this, Germany received a signal from the spacecraft indicating that its solar panels had successfully deployed. In the first 2 days after launch, it will deploy its instrument boom and several antennas that will communicate the Earth and gather scientific data. Solar Orbiter is on a unique trajectory that will allow its comprehensive set of instruments to provide humanity with the first ever images of the Sun's poles. Cool. This trajectory includes 22 close approaches to the Sun, bringing the spacecraft within the orbit of the Mercury to study the Sun and its influence on space. As humans, we have always been familiar with the importance of the Sun to life on Earth. Yep, observing it, investigating how it works in detail. But we have also long known that it has the potential to disrupt everyday life should we be in the firing line of the powerful solar storm. If we be in the firing line of the powerful storm, should as a conjunction here. Said someone. Solar Orbiter will spend about 3 months in its commissioning phase, during which the mission team will run checks on the spacecraft's 10 scientific instruments to ensure they are working properly. It will take the Solar Orbiter about 2 years to reach its primary science orbit. Solar Orbiter combines 2 main modes of study. These instruments will measure the environment around the spacecraft, detecting such things as electric and magnetic fields and passing particles and waves. The remote sensing instruments will image the Sun from afar along with its atmosphere and its outflow of material, collecting data that will help scientists understand the Sun's inner workings. During the mission's cruise phase, the spacecraft's in situ, seems to me Ram Setu, instruments will gather scientific data about the environment around the spacecraft, while the remote sensing telescopes will focus on calibration. To prepare for scientific operations near the Sun, the cruise phase includes 3 gravity assists that the solar orbiter will use to draw its orbit closer to the Sun. 2 past Venus, 1 past Earth. That's a small one. 3 paragraphs only. The previous ones had 8. Following its Earth gravity assist, Solar Orbiter will begin the primary phase of its mission, leading to its first close pass by the Sun at about third quarter of the distance from the Sun to Earth. Throughout the mission, it will use successive Venus gravity assists to draw its orbit closer to the Sun and lift it out of the ecliptic plane. Solar Orbiter's unique orbit will bring the spacecraft out of the plane that roughly aligns with the Sun's equator, where Earth and other planets orbit. It launched from Earth naturally stay in place, which means spacecrafts, that's the plural one actually, launched from Earth naturally stay in this place, which means the telescopes on Earth and telescopes on satellites will have blank space views of the Sun's north and south poles and are instead able to have detailed views of the Sun's equatorial region. Okay, so which of the following is incorrectly spelled? Incorrectly spelled in RC. Ecliptic, eclipse the path. I think not bad. Ecliptic seems good to me. Successive is all correct for sure. Cruise for sure should be correct. Calibration seems good to me. And trajectory also is good to me. So I think all are correct one more time. Ecliptic, successive, cruise, trajectory, calibration doesn't have this B-E-R. The standard spelling is C-A-L-I-B-R-A. No B-E-R. Thank you, Nancy. Okay, next. Which of the following has the closure meaning to deploy? Disband. I don't know. Deploy is to, just like the police have been deployed, the army have been deployed out there. This have been deployed, put into position out there. Implement will be the same. Execution will be the same. Mobilize The solar orbiter will also mobilize discrete at the precise position. Utilize, I think, see, all are the same except disband. You better know band of musicians all work together. If you say disband, you are just putting them out of their places, which will not be appropriate. So I think deploy, implement, mobilize, think about police, and you will see all are the synonyms. Implementation, how they've been executed. Mobilizing them, not staying at the same place. At the discrete positions they've been deployed. Utilized, we have police forces or army forces and such, we will utilize them. Except disbanding. That means we are, what should I say? Just dropping their identity, just removing them from their position and such. Let me see what they have said. Disband. Deploy involves arranging or positioning resources for the action. Disband involves breaking up or dissolving such arrangements or groups. Absolutely. So they are the antonyms of each other. Rest of those are put into plan and such. What can you fill out here? That was a good one. That was a good one. I think I got this wrong too. That was wrong. That one was also wrong. See, spacecrafts, let me say that, launched from Earth naturally stay in that place, whatever the place is, which means that telescopes on Earth and telescopes on satellites have blank space views of the sun's north and south poles. Answer please, those who are alive at least. And are instead able to have detailed views of the sun's equatorial region. Waiting for your answer. Quick. Quick. Vabhav. Uh-oh. Hallelujah. Radhe Radhe. Why? Feel the difference. Nope, nope. Not all of you are wrong. What I said, I got this wrong. My answer was also extended. My answer, Mihir, Vedansh, was also extended and I got this wrong. Why? Later on, I came to know they are saying instead. And you better know the meaning of instead. Yes, 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 yes. I will do this instead of that. I will buy this instead of that. So you are putting a negation out there, contrast out there. Instead of that, I'll do this. So they instead are able to have detailed views of the equatorial region. That means they are not going to get the detailed view of south poles and north poles. They are not going to. Negative options, please. Limited views of north and south poles and instead detailed views of equatorial region. That was extempore, not the prepared one. Hallelujah. I got this wrong, by the way. Postponed views. What is that postponed view? We will send the views later. Nonsense. Extended views, I thought. Exaggeration is to amplify what you're going to say. Not allowed here. Exaggerated views. We need the precise views, not the exaggerated views. Pampered views, not possible. Pampered by the publishers, pampered by your followers and such. So, yep, limited. Because of this, instead, I got this wrong. Next. Which of the following is a true statement about the mission? Solar orbiter was launched by NASA alone. No. Two agencies, European Space Agency and NASA. No. Mission controllers for solar orbiter are located at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The launched on a United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket from Launch Complex 41 at the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida. Not matching this Kennedy Space. That's a Cape Canaveral or whatever. Nope. Which is the true one? No. Solar orbiter's trajectory include 10 close approaches. I think 22 close approaches. Its mission is solely focused on studying the sun's equator and number of things like that. North Pole, South Poles, although limited, but still. Now, the instrument boom somewhere here. and antennas of the solar orbiter were successfully deployed within the initial 2 days following its launch. Probably at the beginning of the passage. Yes, somewhere here. You can see that. In the first 2 days after the launch, it will deploy its instrument boom and several antennas that will communicate with the Earth in just first 2 days. So that seems good. Rest of those are horrible. Which of the following is a false statement about the solar orbiter mission? False. That means rest of those must be true. The commissioning phase that will last approximately 3 months to ensure the proper functioning of its 10 scientific instruments. 3 months, 10 scientific here. It will spend about 3 months in its commissioning phase, during which the mission team will run checks on the 10 scientific instruments, ensuring they are working properly. So that's correct. You need to pick the false one. Solar orbiter will reach its primary science orbit within 2 years. Next line says it will take 2 years. It has only one mode of study. No, it has a couple of modes of study, I think. Yes, solar orbiter combines 2 main modes of study. That's wrong. 2 main modes of study. It has one mode? No, 2. That's a false one. Which kind of access do telescopes on Earth and in orbit typically have for directly observing the sun's north and south poles? You are mentioning something here. Unrestricted and high resolution views, completely blocked views due to Earth's shadow, partial obstructed views in detail, views primarily focused on the sun's equatorial regions. Hold on a sec. What kind of access do telescopes on Earth and in orbit typically have for directly observing the sun's north and south poles? I think that will be the answer. We don't have an access to the sun's north and south poles, or we have the limited access, but we have detailed views of the sun's equatorial region. So I think that should be the answer, and that is views primarily focused on, because we have the detailed views out here of the sun's equatorial regions. Finishing things off in 2 minutes. Which of the following best captures the relationship between the sun and the earth as described in the passage? The sun is a source of life, but it can also cause problems to earth. Yep, stated directly. Sun is a source of life, but it has the potential to disturb everyday life if we be in the firing line of that. Straight. Need not check the others if we have the preciseness at first. Which are the principal aims of solar orbiter's missions as given in the passage? To scrutinize the atmospheric composition of the sun. I don't think so. It has been mentioned. Composition of the sun. It is going there to just, I think, get sun's north pole, south pole, or equatorial region images, views, not composition of the sun. Now, to probe the geological features of Venus. Yep, they have said going to use Venus gravity, but not going to study the features of Venus. No, to get pioneering imagery views of the sun's polar regions. Yep, maybe the equator, maybe the north one, maybe the south one, and such. So I think only second should be correct, and that is. And last but not the least, we have done. Which task will the remote sensing telescopes primarily undertake during the mission's cruise phase? The cruise phase was highlighted somewhere here. The cruise phase includes 3 gravity assists that the solar orbiter will use to draw its orbit closer to the sun, 2 past Venus and 1 past Earth. Conducting scientific experiments near the spacecraft, calibrating, we have in the previous line calibration, instruments for sun-centered. Yes, it should be the answer. Let me show you. Got it. The spacecraft instruments will gather scientific data about the environment around the spacecraft, while the remote sensing telescopes, as you've said, asked, while the remote sensing telescopes will focus on the calibration to prepare, for the science operations near the sun. The sun-centered near the sun, science operation, and those calibration instruments, for sure, the remote sensing telescopes are going to focus on. Done. That's all we had in this session. Finishing things off. Bye-bye. Take care. Be safe, everybody. And yes, before you leave, would love to show the same. We are ending this offer tomorrow. Would love to see you tomorrow at the same time here to finish things off for 2023. Yes. Before I leave, let me mention this again. You can have this flat 55% off, which ends 20th of May tomorrow. On this occasion of having 25 million users at Olive Board, can grab all-in-one the regulatory exam subscription for RBI, NABARD, SEBI, SIDBI, and the others. Will get access to the current courses, the upcoming courses, and such as suggested by the toppers. AIR1, RBI Grade B 2024, if I'm not wrong. Code 25M. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. Be safe, everybody. See you. Any objection, query, question is all welcome. So Vaibhav, what did you learn today in one word? Mihir, thank you. Thank you, Vedansh, for being here. Mihir, Isha, Gunjan, Nancy, knock it out of the park. Hold you in esteem. Thank you so much, Beta, for the words. Always perspicacious. Have a great day ahead to you too. Thank you. Vaibhav, waiting for the one word that you have learned from this session. राधे राधे के साथ हालेलुया भी जरूरी है. God bless you, brother. Thank you so much for the presence and your impeccable humor. My today's learning. Thank you. God bless you. See you tomorrow at the same time for the next set. See you.